Greetings one, greetings all. Well, I haven't made a video in a while, but I've been busy as a beaver. And I suppose it's time I check in and show you the progress on the turd. That's what I've named this thing. It's the turd. I'm even going to get a wooden sign and put it out the front. Just because I'm a smart ass like that. So the turd has presented some challenges, but the bathroom is done, except for a few, just some minor tweaks like I gotta wash the tub down. I mounted a towel bar, and I don't like where I mounted it because now the door doesn't open all the way. It hits the towel bar because the door is so tiny and so narrow. So now I got to relocate that. Then I got to find a way to cover up the big screw holes that I put in the wall to mount the, yeah. Little tweaks like that. But other than that, aside from final decorating, it's done. So that's good. I can use it. My next mission was to start on the kitchen, which I did. I tried to pull the floor up, and I thought that the flooring, which was linoleum, excuse me, I got the Brewer game going on in the background. Woo! First game of the season. Yeah. Anyway, the linoleum in the bathroom was just laid on the floor. It wasn't glued down, stapled, nothing. So it just pulled right up. So I thought, oh, kitchen looks like it's the same thing because the edges were curling and stuff. I thought, sweet. Just cut it up with a razor knife, roll it up into chunks, and throw it in the dumpster. Not. They glued it down. So all things went well for a little while where they didn't spread the glue out as thick. And then I got to the sections where they spread the glue thick. And yeah, she stuck down good. So I'm going to lay the wood floor right over the top. The flooring that I put in the bathroom actually has a foam underlayment attached to the back of it. It's 100% vinyl, so it's 100% waterproof, and it has a foam underlayment to give it some, I don't know, 0.13 R value insulating qualities, but more to give it a soft, cushy feel underfoot. So if I use that same type of stuff in the kitchen, it will go over all the irregularities where I ripped up the, I got a blackberry bramble in the nose the other day. I mean, it's stuck right in there, snapped off the stem, bonk, stuck right in my nose, and then blood was dripping off. Yeah. Anyway, the theory is that foam backing will, merge with the irregularities in the floor, and it won't be uneven or buckle or anything like that. So that's what I got my fingers crossed for. So I started on that, and then I took this week off for vacation. So all of my stalkers out there that are driving by and don't see my truck at work, yeah, I'm on vacation. It's not really a vacation. Well, vacations are supposed to do something fun, but, well, this is fun for me, so I guess it's a vacation. Anyway, so I was going to start on the kitchen, and I ran out of money. And, yeah, so then I realized, okay, I got the week's vacation. The purpose is to move in, physically move out of the ex-wife's house and move into here, which I've been doing a little bit here and a little bit there. Every time I come down, I throw some stuff in the truck and come down. Well, then I realized that the living room, in my den at home at the wife's house, I got this big 8-foot long by 8-foot high 3-piece sectional wall unit, bookcases and drawers and stuff like cubbies and stuff like that. And I realized that if I move all that stuff here, and I would have to stage it way in the back bedroom, and then move it again out into the living room when I was ready to put it in the living room. Well, the thing that's stopping me from putting it in the living room right away is the walls in here. You see behind me, it's like a nicotine stained white, full of nail holes and screw holes and irregularities and whatnot, and it's definitely not what I want for my cabin. This is the cabin, so it doesn't look like a cabin at all. So that being said, I was going to put up, or I am going to put up, or I am putting up, let's put it that way, paneling. Now, to give it a woodsy look. I can't afford tug and groove blonde stained pine like I would really like. That would be the ultimate, but that stuff's not cheap, so I can't afford that. So I'm doing the next best thing. Maybe down the road, if I save up some money and I want to retool the living room and actually make it look like a cabin, then I'll go to the tongue and groove knotty pine. That would be really cool in here. Yeah. I've already got it in my head. I've already got the kitchen designed, how I'm going to do that, and that's not going to change. But the living room could change down the road. But for now, I got to cover up these white walls or nicotine walls, and so I'm doing that with paneling. Now, the first paneling that I chose, kind of liked it. It had some horizontal boards in it. Paneling's come a long way. Back in the day, paneling just didn't look that good. Now they've really got some really good designs and things like that incorporated into the paneling. So I had this pattern picked out, and I liked it, obviously, because I picked it out. And I went to get it the other day, and the cost of building materials has just gone through the roof. I don't know why. Back in the day, you used to be able to get a sheet of plywood, half-inch plywood, for $15. Now it's pushing 50. So paneling is experiencing the same thing. So a sheet of paneling, nice sheet of paneling, is $30. It's for one 4x8 sheet. I'm like, I can't afford this. So the paneling that I was looking at was like $24 a panel. And I'm like, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need about 10 panels in here. That's a lot of money. And some people are saying, why don't you just slap paint on the walls? No, I tried that. I had to paint a seam between the panels because as crooked as this trailer is and as crooked as the walls are, sometimes the panels don't really butt up edge to edge. And I'm trying to put these panels up without using seam joiners. You know what I'm talking about? They got these plastic joiners that go between the panels so that they slip together and it makes a seam. Well, then to me, that just looks like paneling and it looks kind of tacky. So I'm trying to butt them up perfectly tight to each other and then nail them down good so that that edge blends in with the other edges and it looks like one continuous sheet. Well, anyway, I pull one of those panels that I had picked out, I pull it out of the rack and I look at it again and I go, oh, hells no, it's too busy. It just had too much going on. And it would have really looked weird in here. So that being said, I changed it up and I went with a different style, and it was $10 cheaper a panel. So, yeah, it's still a lot, still $20 a sheet, but yeah, it's a little bit more in the budget. So, that's what I'm in the process of doing now. I'm taking my time, not just slapping it up. I'm taking my time, measuring for all my outlet openings 3 times, so I don't ruin a full sheet of paneling like I did for the bathroom by measuring wrong. the paneling in the bathroom was cheaper. It's flimsy stuff, but in here it's kind of a walnut kind of paneling. I'll show you here in a second. But anyway, so I'm in the process of doing that. While I was putting the paneling up, I wanted another outlet. I've got this huge wall opposite of me here, and I wanted another outlet in the middle of that wall. The outlets were separated by like 16 feet, and I wanted something in the middle because that's where this wall unit's going to go. And I wired the wall unit with under cabinet lighting, so I need to have a place to plug that in, and I'm going to do everything in my power to not have extension cords running all over this place. I hate that look. So that being said, I needed an outlet right in between the two existing outlets. So I fiddled with that last night, and I'll show you how I did that. This might be a somewhat lengthy video. So I'm in the process of putting that paneling up. So the paneling will be up, baseboards will be on. Not so sure about the top trim boards or not, because I can do that after the cabinet's in here. But the whole goal is when I physically move, which will be in the next, let's see, what is today, Thursday? Happy birthday, by the way, Kim, if you're watching. Stalking me. Are you finding what you're looking for? The cabinets can go in. The wall unit can go in, and then I can reach above it to put the top trim board on. So that won't be a problem. But the bottom baseboards definitely have to go on before the cabinet gets in here. So that was the whole plan. Move this heavy cabinet in here, set it up, screw it together, plug it in, and that's where it stays. So that's why I'm doing this south wall. I'm doing the south wall up to where I'm going to have the fireplace, where I'm putting a fireplace in. So I've got that all taped off on the floor. So yeah, without further ado, let's go take a look at the bathroom. Oh, my back is sore. Well, I'm in the kitchen. Should I show you the kitchen? I'm trying to keep it clean. I guess I'll show you the kitchen. Yeah. So it's a work zone. It's a construction zone, so bear with me. All these cabinets are going to get redone, refaced, done right. It's a big hack job, as you can see. It'll all be done different. But here's the floor. So I started to rip up this floor, and I got to where they really laid the glue on, and yeah, that's where I stopped. So I'm just gonna lay the new wood floor over the top. I put in my exhaust hood over the stove. This is not the stove I'm keeping. I'm gonna have a nice gas black range stove, or a black gas range. So I needed to have a really high powered exhaust fan to pull all the heat and everything away. So yeah, I got that commercial series, and it vents right outside, so it does a really good job. You're cooking bacon in here or something like that. You don't end up with grease all over everything. And I painted the ceiling in the living room as well. You can kind of see the contrast here. So this right here is all smoker's haze and grease, and this is the freshly kilsed primered ceiling, which I'm probably just gonna leave. Okay, so bathroom. Did I show you the utility room in the? I think I did. It's the new utility room. Water heaters on the heavy duty pedestal. Got a water filter. Plumbing's all done right, done nice, done neat. All new wiring going to the hot water heater. I plumbed in an outside faucet for a garden hose. I'm also going to put a hole down here, and there will be a drain hose hooked up to the hot water heater drain that'll permanently go out side. I plan on flushing this hot water heater a lot. When I removed it from the room to do the plumbing and I drained it, there was so much sludge in the bottom of this thing. It's going to take a lot of flushing to clean that out. So anyway, so yeah, back bedroom, I got that. That's where I was staging all my building material, all the construction materials that I was ripping out of the bathroom when I gutted the bathroom. They were all piled up in the back bedroom. I got that all cleaned out and hauled to the dump. So let's see here. So here's the grand reveal. Hardwood flooring, which is actually vinyl. It's tiny. I custom built the cabinets. Vanity. Backsplash. Remember, I think I showed that the outlets were not lined up right. Well, I put my my backsplash board on there and got both the outlets lined up the way they should be. This towel is just a temporary curtain, but stained the window frame and the box and everything all nice to match. I got my balance over the sink with my recessed lighting. Got that all in. All my trim. Dealt with that problem right there with the kitty wampus ceiling the best I could. Toilet's in. All cleaned up. Took me about an hour to clean that thing. From top to bottom, sanitized. Lantern and everything looks good on the wall. Ceiling is all painted. Got all this space right here. I think I'm gonna put a big wall cabinet. I'm gonna build one to put all my towels and sundries and whatnot in. Shower's all done, framed in. Surround is in. Everything's all caulked and sealed, waterproofed. So that's all good to go. Here you can see the problem. I put the towel bar right here, but it hits on the door when the door opens. So this is going to come off. It's probably going to go up over the top of the toilet here. And then there was a hole in the door that somebody had punched a hammer through the door or something. So I used a piece of adhesive floor tile to cover that up. I'll probably put a couple of stick-on coat hooks, which I forgot to get at the hardware store today. Doggone it. And then I'll probably put another piece of that right here as well with a couple more hooks for towels and robes and stuff like that. So I just got to put this little trim plate on the switch assembly here. And yeah, bathroom's done. Clean the shower. Everything works. Toilet works, sinks works, hot water. No leaks, no runs, no drips, no errors. So, to all the naysayers out there that said, oh my God, it's a money pit. And you know who you are. It's a deal breaker. It's a money pit. I can't be with somebody that lives in a trailer. I'm too high class for that. I think too much of myself. This bathroom looks like $1 million. And it was cheap because I did all the work myself. All the electrical, all the plumbing, all the carpentry, everything. It just took time to do. And I love doing this kind of stuff. And yeah, so I saved buku amounts of money, just like I'm going to do on all of this remodel of this turd. So, So we saw the kitchen. So now the living room. So this is the paneling I chose. It's kind of a wainscoting style. And I'm trying to mesh the seams. I don't know if you can see the seam, but there's a seam right here, and I got to do a better job of securing it. But I don't want dividers on that. So this is going to run all the way along the wall, all the way around. And that'll give it a warm, cozy, cabin-like feeling, I think. I paint the seams, that seam right there. Because like I said, the panels sometimes don't fit tight together. So on this first panel, when I butted the second panel up to the first panel, you could see the white, and now you can't. It just blends right in. So I've been painting the seams to eliminate that. So anyway, the outlet, there's one hiding behind here, right about here. Okay. And then there was one way over here. This one. Well, I want one in the middle. So that's where I put it. So what I did was I took my saw, I don't know if you can see this. I took my saw and I cut a trench in the drywall about that wide. And then, well, you can see the width. And then I took a hole saw drill, and I drilled holes in the studs, and I ran the wires through the studs just like you would on a stick frame construction. Drilled a hole in the side of this box and tapped into that, those wires, and then just ran a whip over to this location where I'll put a box in. So that'll work great for that. It give me 3 outlets on that wall. I'm going to relocate that this thing hanging here is where the cable comes in. I'm going to relocate that, I think, over to here, right underneath here, just to neat it up a little bit. That just so happens to be in a pocket between 2 studs, so that shouldn't be too difficult. This corner is where the fireplace is going to go. So the blue line is the hearth that I want to put in. The fireplace is a round retro, I shouldn't say retro, I say it is from the 70s, one of those cylindrical round units that you used to see back in the 70s that were painted multicolors. You get them in red or green or black or blue or whatever, back in the 70s. I scored one when I worked at a fireplace store as an installer. A guy was replacing that with a different style wood fireplace, and he was just going to scrap it. And I said, I'll take it. I've been sitting on it for 15 years, just waiting for the right project. It's going to look awesome in that corner. Not only that, the furnace that's in this unit is the original furnace from 1974. Still works, but it's wimpy. So let's take last night, for example. Got down to 18 degrees. And it was pretty cold in here. Well, the furnace run from here in the living room all the way to where the furnace is down in the hallway is long. And it's under the trailer. It's supposedly wrapped in insulation, but how good that insulation is at this point is anybody's guess. I haven't crawled under there yet. Waiting for it to warm up. Anyway, so by the time the heat gets all the way down that register run to the registers here in the living room, it's blowing 70-degree air, and it should be up in the hundreds. That being said, I'm saving my pennies to buy a new furnace before next winter, a big boy. My theory is have a bigger furnace, have it run less, heat the place up quicker, and therefore it'll be more efficient because it won't run as much. So in the mornings when I come here to work or whatever, I got to crank this furnace all the way up to 90 degrees and let it run for almost an hour before it gets warm enough in here to work. And I just don't like that. So that's on the bucket list for before next winter is a new furnace, hopefully with central air. But that corner over there, that's where the fireplace is going to go. So I'm still trying to figure out the logistics. That'll help augment the heat in here. It'll help keep this end of the house warmer. But I'm still trying to figure out the logistics. If you see my blue tape line, that's where I figured the front of the hearth should go. That's pretty tiny. I looked at the fireplace this morning, and I think the diameter of the fireplace is bigger than that space would allow, and I want at least like a foot clearance between each wall. I'm going to actually check the code regs on what a freestanding stove clearance-wise should be from the wall. But I plan on pulling that drywall out of there in that corner, and then I'm going to replace it with cement board, and then over the top of the cement board I'm going to put cultured stone, and that should do a pretty good job of reflecting the heat and preventing any problems. That's how most fireplaces, freestanding stoves and fireplaces and whatnot are done. But for now, I got some problems. I got an electrical outlet right there under that window. That's right in the zone of where the fireplace is. And those two that are on that side are right in the zone as well. I can't move that one receptacle, but I can move the other one. So I'm going to move the other one to the other side of the window, I think. Get it away from that fireplace a little bit. I want to keep it there because I want to be able to plug Christmas lights and stuff like that in the winter. So yeah, there's a little bit of work in figuring that out. I might have to bring where I've got the blue line now. I might have to bring that out farther yet, and that could be an issue. So we'll see. But that's where I'm at now. Today I'm working on getting the rest of these pieces of paneling up, so that I can start moving the big stuff in here. And then the rest of the project, once I recoup some funds, the rest of the project will go from there. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's the update. Thanks for checking in. And yeah, we'll do another short video once that wall is done, and maybe when I got some stuff in here, we'll do a video. So stay tuned. Thanks.